What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Flow. Flow is an outstanding crypto. The growth that they've had in the short space of time that they've been up and running really has been outstanding. This is one that is going to run in price massively. So I want to cover everything to do with Flow, and I also want to talk about a recent statement from the Animoca Brands CEO about the recent bank crashes, because this has an impact on what people are thinking about crypto right now. Before I get into any of that though, guys, if you guys are new to this channel, these are the first 26 coins I actually spoke about on this channel. They're also the first ones I owned when I made this channel. Now, I did videos about all of these talking about how good they were and the fact that I was putting in money. Had you actually put in just $100 into each of these coins when I released the videos about them, and say you were still holding them, firstly, what the hell are you doing? Right? But secondly, if you were still holding them and you wanted to sell them today, you will be able to bank around about 13k in profit, which is not bad, given that you'd have done everything wrong as an investor. Remember the rules of buy low, sell high. Now, what you should have done is sell these in 2021 like I did, like my followers did, like my friends did. And if you had just $100 into each of these when I released the videos about them, selling them at the right time in 2021 could have netted you a profit of 123 grand. That's from a $2,600 investment. That's a huge profit. Now, as I said, I sold all these, so they're not what I own. But if you do want to see the coins that I own right now, the cryptos that I think are going to be the big winners, then you can go over to copymycrypto.com. And when you go onto that site, read through the page. Everything on that page can be verified on this channel's history. Everything that I said is all here. And if when you read it, you're going, I like this, then confirm it all. And then join me there. And if you read it and you go, it's not for me, there's no obligation, guys. You don't have to buy. But I'm not hiding from anything. Everything here is public. All these spreadsheets have been on this channel for ages and ages and ages. So if you want to make these kind of profits without having to do 10,000 hours of research, deep diving into every crypto, and you want to copy someone who has a history of success, then go read the site now, because not doing it is foolish. That's all I'll say. Anyway, guys, let's get into it. So Flow. Flow is one of the most backed cryptos in the space. It's backed by Coinbase Ventures, it's backed by CoinFund, it's backed by DCG, it's backed by Ledger, it's backed by Andreessen Horowitz and Animoca Brands. Now, Flow is all about onboarding for Web3. It's all about doing the next evolutions of the internet. You know, they are a layer one, so like Ethereum, like Solana, you know, you can build directly on top of it. And Flow is the currency that fuels the ecosystem. So that means Flow pays for all the transactions across the entire network. Now, the Flow ecosystem, and the world of Flow, as we like to say, has began growing really, really well. And just so you know, Dapper Labs was the original creator of the Flow blockchain. They're the ones that created CryptoKitties. If anyone remembers that, the thing that crashed Ethereum for bloody ages. And, you know, they're a very successful blockchain developer. Flow is also backed by huge brands like Warner Music, Ubisoft, the NBA, the UFC. These are not small these are not small companies. The Flow's actual growth as well has been pretty impressive in terms of users and in terms of transactions. So Flow launched in 2021 at the price of $8. So it is currently an eighth of that. Now, if we take a look at Flow and what it's done, on a daily basis, it's doing a couple 100,000 transactions. That's a lot. It's also got, there's over nearly 19.5 million accounts now up and running on Flow. They've processed over 358 million transactions so far, which again, when you put into context of they've been up and running for basically 2 years, that's pretty damn good. There's over 11,000 developers that are building upon Flow. As we can see, they also have staking, so the staking rewards are 9% basically, so that's not bad. And the Flowverse is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's what they like to call it. There's 466 projects on Flow as of right now, and you can explore them all. So as we can see, ones I want to filter by are gaming, DeFi. Let's start with gaming. So gaming, they have started to grow quite nicely. There's quite a few sporting-based games, but obviously they're backed by like UFC and the NBA. So I'm expecting that there's always going to be plenty of sporting-based games here. They've also, in terms of DeFi, they're starting to grow quite well. As you can see, there's a few one-stop shop DeFi platforms, and there's a few lending and leasing protocols, but this still needs to grow. For me, this is one where I would hope to see DeFi really grow for Flow, because actually, as a blockchain, it's ideal. It's absolutely ideal. They have quite a lot of marketplaces as well up and running now. Obviously, NFT marketplaces continue to boom. So they've got a couple sporting-based NFT ones like UFC, Strike, and the NBA Top Shop. And NBA Top Shop's massive. They're also with Dazen Moments, and if you're unfamiliar with Dazen, that's like where you can. It's a channel where you can watch all the boxing if you want. So they're really starting to grow their base really well, and it does appear that Flow, more than anything, are just going to be the infrastructure behind the next sort of iterations of websites. So these websites that are moving from Web 2 to Web 3, and Flow does appear to be currently really well positioned in that regard. They also announce upcoming drops, which I really quite like as a feature of their sort of site. Lets you know when things are coming. There we go. So you can see these are the upcoming NFT sales on the Flow blockchain. So you can get an idea of what is to come, and then from there maybe snipe a few quality NFTs on the cheap. Again, a really nice little feature that they've added to the site. The biggest thing for Flow fundamentally is just to continue onboarding these big names. If they can continue onboarding, companies akin to Warner Music, your Sonys, or if they can start onboarding other sporting franchises aside from the NBA and the UFC, maybe you're getting, if they could get, probably not going to get the much of football because Chili's seems to have locked that up, but if they can get some NFL in there, if they can get National Hockey League in there, if they can get baseball in there, if they can get cricket in there, there's plenty of sports worldwide that could really benefit from utilizing Flow's infrastructure. And the fact that all these massive brands have already started flocking to Flow is a good sign that this is set for massive growth. And as you can see, the partners are massive. There's also notable investors such as Google Ventures, as well as Samsung, founders of DreamWorks, Reddit. These are not small. These are rich investors. So they're obviously feeling very positive about Flow. Now, Flow, for me, the target point's got to be about $20 right now. And the only reason I'm not saying more is because there's a ton of volume. The majority of the volume that we've seen for flow has hovered around that $20 region. So that's going to be a huge sort of area of resistance. So that's really what they've got to crack. But once they crack that, maybe they can hit their high of sort of $40. But realistically, target point is $20, which is still a 20x from where it is right now. Put it in a market cap of 20 billion. Which, yes, it's high, but again, when we put the next bull cycle into context, we're looking at Bitcoin with 100k possible price point. We're looking at Ethereum with 10k possible price point. Each of them would have $1 trillion market cap or more. So a 20 billion market cap is really a drop in the ocean at that point. And yeah, I mean, they've onboarded some of the biggest brands. The next step, really, I suppose one of the few areas that they've not really tackled is fashion. So maybe they start looking at trying to onboard your Nikes and your Adidas's and your Gucci or whatever. And if they start onboarding those brands as well, again, continued growth for Flow should at least lead to massive price appreciation. But yeah, $20 seems very, very achievable for me. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think? $20? Do you think more? It's backed by Google Ventures as well. This is not small potatoes. But let me know in the comments. And if you're a returning viewer, hit the subscribe button. These videos will make you money. You don't want to miss them. And when I'm talking about a crap coin, they'll save you money. So you don't want to miss them. And guys, if you want to see the coins that I'm invested in right now, the cryptos that I think are going to be the big winners, like I said with Thetas and Zilicas and V-Chains and Engines and NKNs and Phantom, then head over to Copy My Crypto and read that site. Everything on that site can all be verified on this channel's history. Everything on here is public record. If you are looking to make these kind of profits without having to do 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 hours of reading, if you want to copy someone that's had a history of success, that has a history of success and then consistently shares it, then this is perfect for you. I share every coin that I buy in real time, every coin that I sell in real time. It is as simple as it can be. You literally just have to copy along. And if that sounds good to you, like I say, go read the site and confirm everything that it says there. And if you read it and you're not interested, you don't have to buy, guys. But to ignore it is just wasting your time. So go read it now, and maybe I'll see you there, guys. And last thing, Animoca. So we were talking about Animoca brands just a second ago because they're heavily invested in Flow. And Yat Su, who is the CEO, says crypto is becoming a safety net amid the banking crisis. So he's the chairman of Animoca Brands, and he thinks volatile cryptocurrencies are a relatively safe investment as the traditional finance world is rocked by the Credit Suisse turmoil and the failure of a string of US banks. If you take a look at and this is what he said, if you take a look at what happened recently with the whole development with Silicon Valley Bank, which was obviously shocking, and with Credit Suisse being taken over by UBS, actually the narrative was played out quite differently for crypto. It started to actually bifurcate as some people had predicted, which is that sort of future, let's say, safety net. And he said that the safety net turned out to be Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two largest cryptos, for obvious reasons. They're the safest of the bunch. And obviously we've seen a ton of different weird things happen over the past couple of months, with USDC depegging for a little bit, DAI depegging, and Credit Suisse has rocked all the crypto, all the markets. And the one thing that happened, the two things that happened, gold shot up as a result of all the banking issues and people's fears over their finances, or people's fear over the fiat currencies. And the other thing was crypto shot up. Crypto, and specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, become attractive alternative ways to store value without those particular traditional banking risks. These cryptos made notable gains just as the banking crisis rose to prominence. It's not a coincidence. I think what we're seeing now is a flight of regular money to some cryptos. Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is. We'll see. I mean, we've got the FOMC meeting tomorrow. It starts today, and the press conference is tomorrow. So we'll see how decisions impact the markets. But fundamentally, this is certainly a take. I think right now there's definitely some truth to it. But what do you guys think? Do you think crypto is becoming a safe haven for when we're worried about the dollar? Let me know in the comments down below. And that is it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.